Okay, today I want to take a look at Mars in Taurus. So Mars is like in its shadow or whatever, it's retrograding or about to. And, the Western astrology and all of the charts and stuff that I have been surrounded with all say that Mars is in Gemini right now, but I've recently gotten into astronomy, and as you look at the sky, you will see that Mars is in Taurus. It's like right in between Taurus's horns. Anyway, as I look at the night sky, I've been watching Mars as it kind of slides backwards all month. I think it's really cool. But this Mars in retrograde, as it moves through Taurus, eventually it's going to move into Gemini and then it's going to start going back. So we've got all of this Mars energy, Taurus and Gemini and whatever, this sort of backwards and then forwards again. So, what does that mean? What do we have for? I'm sort of looking on the grand scheme at first, and we might go from there. Bullshit 96 was the random word and number. Okay, so the Two of Cups and the Death card. Now, weird. This is like a very specific moment with the Two of Cups. Um, Harmony and like these two energies that are very open to each other, right? But it's a temporary energy, which is why it's the Two of Cups and not something like the Lovers. But that is the foundation of the Death card, which is a pretty fundamental change. So this is exactly the right moment for massive change. Okay, so let's just look on either side of the death card because that is cryptic enough. Okay, so I need to put another one to see why this is reversed. Okay, well, that's not very good. So, leading up to the death card is the King of Cups. So, the King of Cups, let's just look and see what specifically is coming out of the card here. Um, I think it's just basically talking about um, emotional stability. So the King of Cups definitely has their shit together. They're a merchant, and they're a great merchant. But you can see the finery and all of the stuff because the king lives a pretty good life. Now, then there is the big transformation, and we have the Eight of Swords reversed. So the Eight of Swords is pretty much anxiety, right? And the reversal, I was trying to figure out why this is reversed. Is it reversed because it means it's the end of anxiety, or is it reversed because it's just like way worse than normal? And as the reason for it, we get the reversed Ten of Pentacles. So this is economic stability, and this is the lack or the loss of economic stability. So this is going from the old energy seems pretty good, and then as it moves forward, this doesn't seem nearly as good. Okay, so let's just see if we can get. I mean, we're looking globally here, right? So this does kind of look like a massive transition that creates um, a lot of worries about stability and economic woes. So let's see how big, I guess, that energy is. And we get a Seven of Pentacles. What are we looking at here? I'm not particularly sure what it is in the image. Um, that means anything, but we do have, so from the 10, and so the 10 is the end of the line of the pentacles, right? And it's all of the stability that you would get and what you would like pass on to your children. You know, this is wealth and stability that ain't going anywhere. And here it's just shooting backward to the 7 of Pentacles, which is kind of like learning a new system. You know, this is kind of like back to the drawing board, but this is really practicing something to get really good at it, you know. And then in the next one, the 8, that's about being very productive. But this shows, I mean, how long this economic instability will last will really depend on how quickly people learn a new system, you know. But that makes sense here with the death card because this would be kind of an end, like a big end of something. Okay. All right. Now I want to look at a more personal level, right? On an individual, like human level, what is this energy doing? So 2 cards want to come out. And we get the Hermit. And the Hermit is spending enough time with yourself that you remember who you are, you know, and what you want. This is inner wisdom. Um, and the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is taking your new ideas and turning them into real stuff. Now, this does line up perfectly with the 7 of Pentacles, because here there's like this new energy that's been in there all along, but you haven't really brought it out yet. And this is a time where it turns into something real. The Ace of Pentacles many times shows up for people who start their own business, but it's really about taking your universe of potential and turning it into real stuff. And in this case, very personal potential that has been in there the whole time. You haven't really let it out, but it looks like with the impending financial collapse that it's kind of now or never. Okay, okay. Now, I haven't looked at the Russia and Ukraine thing in a long time because that shit never really changes, you know, and I could do the same reading every day, and it would tell me the same stuff. Considering all of this, I want to look at that again, and then we'll look at war on a bigger scale here. But what does this mean for the Russia and Ukraine deal? Queen of Pentacles and King of Wands. Now, with this situation, I have misread cards like this because they don't look scary, right? They don't look like I'd look at it and say, that doesn't look like anything disruptive at all. But that particular conflict has proven me wrong on that. It's hard to use optimism or rose-colored glasses when looking at a reading about that specific situation. But what we have here, so we do have a masculine and feminine energy. And the King of Wands. The King of Wands is the ultimate father figure. This is the leader, and here the children gather around the king. And on the other side, now I guess that is an interesting dynamic that we have. So on one side, we have the leader, and the kids are gathered around the king, right? And on the other side, the queen, like, she's trying to show her children how much she loves them. She shows them this pentacle, and it doesn't mean fucking anything to them. So there's a massive communication disconnect between the Queen of Pentacles and her children and the King of Wands and his children. You know, this isn't even just his children. There's like a bunch of other kids that are coming up to him, you know, they want to be just like him. So we do have one inspirational figure and one that has financial resources but has a disconnect with their children. And I know better than to try to project which one of those is which in this conflict, but I will let you determine that for yourself. I know better than to than to say. So out of this, we get the reverse strength card. And the strength card is when you sort of have an idea in your head, you have a goal, and this is just about being strong enough to carry it through. When the strength card is reversed, this shows that the monster you're trying to fight is too strong, and it gets the best of you. So there's going to be some, as wills have been tested throughout this, during this period, it looks like one of them will understand that they are not strong enough to do it. Okay, now I want to look at just war on from who the fuck knows where. You know, it could be coming from China, it could be coming from anywhere, but let's just look at other conflicts. Is this going to cause anything else to erupt? And now this, I'm trying to keep rose-colored glasses off because conflict readings are difficult that way. But so here we have a singular purpose, just like the singular purpose showed up over here in the strength card, but the chariot is a goal, just like would be tested here. And it's just specific movement toward a thing, and the thing is the world. So um, there's a couple different ways to translate that, but the world is the great ending. It's the ending of one chapter and the beginning of another. It's even more final than this, you know, or it spawns a new, I don't know. They're very similar energies actually, but so the world, it's the end of the current chapter, and here it's just movement toward the end. So the way that I would read this, as far as big conflicts coming out of other places, um, the big conflict would probably be here, you know, and this is movement toward it, but I would not say that it actually gets there. So moving toward the great big conflict, it looks like. Okay, so that looks maybe somewhat troublesome, but hopefully in individual lives, we can kind of focus here, right? And for us, and not big global shit that we can't do anything about, this is going to be the key, and it's learning something new. And also, where's the hermit? This is something that's been in you the whole time, right? And it's spending enough time looking inward to remember, and then just utilizing that and bringing it into the world, because a lot of things are about to change as far as stability and economies go, and it's going to be, you're going to need a new deal the way it looks. Okay, that's what we get. If you see any stuff that I don't, feel free to let me know. That's what we have for now, and peace.